Welcome back to the LPL. We're coming in looking at Game 2 of Suning versus FPX. Suning took a convincing Game 1 against FPX, but it was incredibly close, and both teams played true to their style, but Suning came out on top.
Yep, even without Maple and Hacker, this team rallied around Sword Art, and they were able to find a lot of picks. It was FPX rotating from bot to mid, getting picked out. They went wild from place to place, and I think even though FPX were still making it competitive, 3 kills really early on for Doinby was like solid. Like for him, he's gonna be so happy. He's gonna be trying to go to that super carry playstyle, right? Issue was it was always Sword Art going back to what was working for him. Back behind SMLZ's Ezreal, hitting lanes, chipping towers, moving with them. It was Weiwei and their mid laner Angel always rotating alongside them. It was actually so hard to be able to break up that like group death comp, I felt.
And Weiwei was really impressive during that. A lot of ganks facilitated by him. A lot of the early game was put under his control. And yes, Doinby got the lead in mid, and that was great. But because of the rotations, like you said, with Weiwei, with Sword Art, they took control over the rest of the game, and they set up their goals, and they set up their own plays to make. And Weiwei, off that performance, MVP.
Oh, snap! So he's going to get it on his his debut performance. Great job to him. Now, I'm going to still give it to the bottom lane. SMLZ and Sword Art played fantastically, but Weiwei understood the calls, you know, said, aye, Captain, I'm joining you. 3 kills really early on, and he was able to play alongside Angel effectively. I thought that for a debut on the main stage, he played without fear, and that is really well done, as you said, really early, like coming into the series, like getting thrown into the wolves, basically, and being able to still come out ahead. Good job to him.
He's just 18 years old, too. He's a young buck. He's a young lad here in the LPL. He's like, all right, cool. MVP, first match, feeling good.
Nice.
The question, I think, going forward is if Suning is going to be able to keep this control, because part of it was FPX, once they lost their ability to make the picks, once they could no longer control the vision, they fell apart. They had nothing left because you need a flank. And you can't get a flank when you don't have vision control. You can't get a flank when you keep getting poked out from 75% of your health bar down to 20.
I thought one of the most iconic plays that game was legitimately when they had pushed out top, or Doinby in particular, had pushed out top lane pretty frequently and taken down the turret. And it was, you know, Suning grouping up mid for, you know, chipping down with Angel, as they were trying to do with their poke composition. And he was looking for a flank. That was their best chance for it. And it wasn't even the vision control that hit him. No one had saw Doinby. It was legitimately Crisp that had gone on way too early. The engage started when Doinby was nowhere near, and an opportunity at a flank turned into essentially a front-to-back 5v5. That was tough to see. Now, this one in particular was just another one of those team fights, and essentially a tale of what happens when you don't get the flanks right. Sword Art repositions Ezreal behind a wall. Doinby can't do much here, and this is, of course, a shroud for him. And he even tried to go in for the kill on top of Xiao Al. Xiao Al gets out of there easily. And they were already winning the fight. Like, they were already snowballed at that point. So you saw what FPX were doing, and they understood what the game plan was. It's just execution in a lot of those cases really fell flat.
Yeah, I think going into next game, I want to see a draft that they are, I wouldn't say more comfortable on, but something that isn't as difficult to execute if they fall behind, if they make a big mistake, because they played well. It's not a matter of necessarily having the wrong strategy or anything. They just made a few too many mistakes, and I think if they have a more flexible composition, because they play a very chaotic style, that is prone to mistakes. If you can get something that's a little bit, maybe not as effective if you play perfectly, but a little bit more middling and gives you flexibility, gives you a little bit of padding, they can bounce back harder against Suning, and they can make the break in the strategy.
Yeah, and I think one way it would make it easier to get your strategy working for you would just try and get like a Zyracon, something that's shoving in the bottom side of the map and still has engaged there for their support in Crisp. He is a fantastic engaged champion, playmaker. He's on the Nautilus in that one. It's pretty linear to make it happen. It made sense in that setting, but he tried so hard to find the counter strategy into the Tahm Kench that honestly at that point he lost his identity as being able to be that high impact playmaker when everyone's just getting gobbled up. Their first goal is probably be take Tahm Kench out of there. I'm not going to play Tahm Kench, and I don't want to deal with Tahm Kench. So suddenly the game is much more easier to find a play on top of it. And that's going to be what FPX's style anyways. Like, they're not going to go for, you know, poke composition or anything. They're going to try and brawl you, and Tahm Kench makes all of that difficult. So I expect the pick to be gone. I expect an Alistar to be available. And if it's not going to be available, then he's going to go towards the Rakan.
I'd like to also see a little bit more roaming, or champions that are able to roam for FPX, because I feel like they do thrive when they're able to make plays cross map. Like Doinby's Kled, for example, is so effective, not only because we've seen him be able to split up fights, but because you have that ability to come in from the long engage. You have the ability to surprise the team that you're facing up against, and that, I feel like, is a hallmark of the FPX style.
So technically they had the opportunity that game, and this is where it gets hard. Because you're right, if there's a Kled, easy, jump in. Literally there's nothing says jump in than a charge, right? Once he got level 6 on Akali and he's able to just completely shove back Zoe into her tower, you're like, great, Doinby can move suddenly, right? Problem is, Sword Art was so smart in how he's able to push out bot side with SMLZ and layer vision with Wei Wei in the river that Doinby could never leave alone. And so every time he had a chance at doing so, Sleepy Trouble Bubble flies in and gets him. You're like, all right, well, I need more members. Bring in a few people and you start have skirmishes, and that's where things went wrong because the call was made, and that's when they started to get a lot of picks in favor of Suning. So I think if you're going to double down on that, then you need to be ready for the fight. It's basically if you have the vision, etc., etc. I think Sword Art recognized the steps to get to that point and just outplayed once again FPX. This is tough, and I think the fact that Suning are able to accomplish all of this without Hacker, who is super experienced at this point of a jungler, who was, you know, I would have ranked in all LPL in terms of just our top 3 junglers in the league. It would be Ning, Karsa, and it would have just been Hacker for me. That's how highly I rate him. The fact they didn't have him put in Wei Wei, he's still really well, like, he understands what needs to be done to get the job done, and it's basically following around towards bot side. So they're going to try and get the same composition.
Do they need to make any adjustments strategically then? Because if you're saying the composition stays the same,
yeah,
then I would expect FPX to know how to deal with it now. They know what went wrong for them, so they might know how to figure out the weakness.
So the only thing I think changes is the Tahm Kench. No Tahm Kench, perhaps changes the composition to your point. Like, so even though I think that going into this game, if you give them everything you want, you know, they can get the Tahm Kench, they'll keep the composition exactly the same. But when the Tahm Kench gets banned, suddenly I don't think Angel would want to go towards the Zoe. He's likely going to pick up the Aurelia. And then the Ezreal might still remain, but then Kaisa would be a lot more of a comfortable option since you don't have the poke with Tahm Kench Q, Ezreal Q, and on top of that you don't have the extra double safety that one. So it all really depends on if the Tahm Kench goes over. I don't think it does. So to answer your long-winded way of doing it, to answer your question is I guess it has to change. And to begin with, I think FPX would not want to go towards the Nautilus anyways anymore. So even if the Tahm Kench goes through, they would want to pick up a Thresh who's been known to deal with the Tahm Kench well as well, like be able to still stick on him. It got banned in second phase in the last game, so I think they would want to pick it up earlier.
Changing the draft strategy might change the entire dynamic of the game. Because,
and that's the truth.
I mean, that's just basic drafting, yeah, but that Tahm Kench was so transformative.
That's true love right there. As Doinby, of course, his fiance. I remember just before the season started, he knelt down, gave her that beautiful ring. So hopefully he can come out of this one, pick up the win, and they can still leave happy. But I'm not a biased man. And it's not looking too good after the last game. So
no, it's not, but I'm a bit of a sap myself, Raz. I just want to say true love conquers all. I don't know if that applies in League of Legends, though. I don't know if it's like, oh, I'm going to perform for you. I'm gonna make it look good. This is for you, honey. And then if he gets 0-2 stopped, like I feel like you wouldn't want to say that. So I think FPX have the potential to bring it back here. But I don't want to speak too soon.
Just taking a look at the bans. Hey, at least Tahm Kench is out there. That's an opportunity, but wait a second. Nah, he's just hovering, man. Shao saying that I could pick up the Akali too, trying to send the message, but he doesn't want to lock it in.
Well, Tahm Kench is still up, so I want to see if FPX try and dissuade it with some picks of their own. Like, definitely not go for the Nautilus again. That was not good at all last game. I think it had good engages early, but then in the mid and late, they struggle in the team fights. So if they can get pressure, Why are they going for the Kaisa? I feel like a more aggressive bot lane would help mitigate some of the issues.
I mean, it doesn't matter what he picks up. It's going to be aggressive nonetheless. So I talked about, I said that everything is going to remain the same as long as Tahm Kench remains, except for the support pick. The only thing that changes is going to be the Nautilus. It's either going to be the Thresh or the Alistar. That's going to be the change up here. Crisp is back on his main support. So now you have, basically, if Tahm Kench tries to whisk someone away, headbutt pulverize both of them, and you're going to see Kaisa follow up with an ultimate just to reposition herself. I wonder what's going to be the pickup in second phase, though, because I doubt that Akali is going to remain open.
They also were lacking a little bit of engage. Alistar shores up that weakness a bit. They're banning out towards the jungle. They want Wei on someone who can't disrupt their team. Olaf going to be their first port of call.
I don't know anything more annoying than a redemption Olaf with the Tahm Kench involved. That is when you just want to throw the computer out there. I know you got some beautiful Alienware PCs up there, but they're about to hit the floor if we see redemption on top of Tahm Kench.
Ryze getting banned away by Suning. Probably just don't want the roam coming out from either laner, and it's a really strong pick that scales up well.
I love seeing Alistar and Ryze ultimate, like that kind of engage, and with the RNG special, the Ryze and Xin Zhao, so Xin Zhao can find himself behind the enemy team, ulti people into him. Like that kind of creativity is what I love about Ryze. Now please ban the Akali. Do it for me.
Suning weren't pressured by it during the mid and late stages.
Oh, they were definitely. That guy had 3 kills, okay? Oh my. You know what? Let's see it, okay?
That's fine. I'm saying the late stages, they don't think it's a threat because they stopped his engage.
I will say this, though. With the Alistar being picked up, he can go to his Yasuo. If you look towards Doombee's solo queue account, he has spammed 2 champions. One of them is a lot of Urgot. The other one is a lot of Yasuo. So he is definitely experienced in Yasuo, and this composition looks good for it. They have a lot of AP, too. Elise and Kaisa gives you so much AP that you essentially have to pick an AD. You know, you're going into the final pickup in the red side. I'm saying it's happening.
I believe you, because I want it to be true. But I'm not 100%. The LeBlanc, if this gets locked in, it's a lot of playmaking potential, a lot of assassination potential in the mid lane.
And Doombe just has a flavor. Like, he doesn't go towards Jace. Jace is not the pick for him. Perhaps he goes towards the Aatrox. Remember, an Aatrox is his pick. He picks Aatrox a lot. So it could just be a countered pick for top lane. Maybe Gimgoon goes towards the Vladimir that he loves and goes back to pretty frequently. So for me, it's either the Vladimir and with an Aatrox mid, or you're going to see, oh my god, let's do it.
Any of these make me so happy.
Yes. Kassadin is
Lock
great
it.
into LeBlanc. Just do it, man.
Lock
he has
it.
teleport. You have 9 seconds left. All right, that's an Aatrox. You know, I'm just
All right.
there we go.
Okay.
All right. You know, you're responsible. We gotta be responsible adults there.
I respect it. I'm a little disappointed.
So remember, Doombe is also a tank player. Once upon a time, LSPL, he picked Maokai mid. And Sion mid we've seen it, like, a lot at Worlds. Deal with it. If there is a LeBlanc mid, the best way to deal with it is just to be a tanky, like, nonsensical human being, chip at tower. I think that's what's happening here.
LeBlanc, assassin mid laner. Wants to get the shove, wants to roam. You don't die. If you outshove, suddenly she's shut down, and that allows a lot more freedom for Tien to move around the map, to get picks with that Elise, and to hopefully influence the bottom lane so that Sword Art can't get as much done.
And that's an Aatrox top lane. Haven't seen this in a little bit with Gimgoon. Now, of course, he can play it, but usually Doombe would want to pick it up for himself. But with the Sion, it seems like FPX want to do anything at all possible to get mid lane control. And of course, if you can't charge with your team and scream it out there, at least you can do it by yourself. Sion ultimate straight towards the bottom lane. I really want to see FPX get this composition to 6 at even so we can see this Sion fly.
Gives them that engage potential we were looking for. It gives them the roam potential I was hoping for Doombe. I'm loving it so far. But if that LeBlanc, by some miracle,
I don't want to hear it.
Okay, fine. The LeBlanc's not going to do it. It's going to be Doombe. He's going to be charging down into the bottom lane. They're going to get a triple kill. It's going to be amazing, Raz.
Perfect.
And they're going to tie it up 1-1. We hope.
Now let's move on to game 3. Nah, but seriously though, the Elise is the insurance policy if anything goes wrong. Elise is the pick where you look for dives. Now, I don't think he's going to go mid. I think he's going to be going top side. There is actually such a large threat on top lane. You have to wonder how Xiao is going to take it. Elise can shrug off tower aggro. Same with Aatrox post 6. So Gimgoon and Tien are coming for Xiao. Wei, you got to do something about it.
He's got the potential for it. Xin, a lot of damage early, a lot of good ganks. Maybe he just gets control. We're going to have to find out how he's going to do it, or if FPX are going to tie it up 1-1 in Game 2 of Suning versus FPX. Gotta love the passions of the fans here in the arena. Just absolute thrill coming out from them, and why not? It's going to be an amazing second game here. Two of the best teams here in the LPL, both currently undefeated. One of them's going down.
Yeah, whenever people say the best teams, that's when you get into a battle of words. Say, you know, RNG with Uzi can do it. IG are just trolling. SN and FPX, like they're trying to make their names well known around the world right now, and being undefeated is definitely going to do it. If you're on every graphic in the world and you just see 0 in the loss category, that does it. That gets your name out there.
Both junglers starting leashless this time. Don't want to affect the lanes too much. Just letting them get in, get to scrapping immediately. Gimgoon proccing the electrocute already.
Yeah, getting right on top of him, but remember, corrupting potions there for Xiao. He's going to be able to hold it. And he's worried about Elise, quite honestly. Knows that Elise is going to be starting on red side at all times. And sometimes you get to a point where junglers, if they start red side, top side, they just stay there. They go towards Scuttle Crab and try to go for an early gank. Xiao is only pushing up because he knows that Wei is in the area. So a little bit of reasonable expectations being left.
Vision for Gimgoon as well, so he'll be safe from any ganks respectively. This will give Tien time to pick up that second buff, try and get some movement down, potentially towards the bottom lane. But FPX, doing B in the mid lane so far, suffering a little bit against Angel's poke and damage.
That's going to happen. I mean, LeBlanc early on has some unfair advantages being a ranged champion, so auto attacks, 1Q, electrocute proc, has Ignite too. There's just a lot about that, but first base has teleport. Remember, this is Ignite versus Teleport, so first base, if DoinB ever gets some advantages there, he just snowballs that, and we'll be able to out-heal, out-sustain if he's going in towards Catalyst. So, taking a look here. Okay.
I really like that early Scuttle pickup from Suning because it stops Tien's pathing from going towards the bottom lane, at least for the time being. Makes him get a little bit creative if he wants to go down there.
Just want to see what Tien's thought process is here. You're right about him trying to look towards the bottom side, already darting towards it, but Swordart's like, all right, we got to check on this here, the Krug cam. Just making sure.
Just, them's my Krugs. Get off them. Now, not being spotted out yet. There's the flash, there's the knock-up, and SMLZ might go down. Devour saves him just in time. Ignite not going to tick him down.
Swordart playing ward and trying to figure out if there's anything to worry about. But Tien could not be there for him. At the same time, the all-in from Chris was actually really well done to try and get the kill onto SMLZ. At the very least, no heal flash. Summoners down for SMLZ.
This is why it's so frustrating to play against the Tahm Kench. You get a great engage, you get the Ignite, you have your jungler there, and then boom, Devour. Suddenly their AD carry, nowhere to be found.
And something that we didn't talk about coming into this one, but the fact that SMLZ has an offensive summoner and heal, my god. So one thing you cannot tell, you could see champions and going into pick ban, but the one thing you can't see are summoners. So going into an Ezreal, you're almost certain you're dealing with a teleport. LWX comes into this one with a teleport, realizing that now SMLZ actually just has that much stronger in combat summoners with heal and ignite there for Swordart. So the fact that they came into this one thinking that they're going to try and scuffle, and then they just lose out and all of that, lose their heal and flash because of the headbutt pulverizer. Great job done from Tien to pressure there, and great job from Chris to just get the headbutt pulverizer done.
And they're going to have to find pressure elsewhere. They have the advantage of teleport, which means LWX, if he gets pushed out of lane, he can just come back. And it looks like at the moment, Chris was looking for a gank towards the mid lane with the extra time he has, with that extra freedom.
Now this is when I'm most worried. Look at Sion, gonna shove this one out, have time to base. Wonder what he picks up first. Shouldn't be able to pick up an outright. I think he should just get pretty much Ruby Crystal and Mana Crystal. Pretty much all I think he can look for. Maybe boots. Just depends what he gets in his inspiration tree. If he has magical footwear. That being said, LWX is gonna be getting hurt. I'm sorry about that.
Man. And Ezreal does so much damage. Already a teleport? What are you doing? They're just going for Sword Art. Can't eat anyone if you're the one in trouble. And that's going to be first blood for LWX.
That's timer 101. And guess who does timers? Doomby does timers. He times a lot of things. And so being able to just recognize that, hey, Sword Art flashed in and saved SMLZ. To be fair, SMLZ flashed early on too. Really didn't matter who was going to be left behind. You're going to be getting the kill. So Doomby on the ball, teleported bottom lane and got the kill for his team.
Not even going to lose all that much CS for it either. This Sion so far working out really well, and he's just hit level 6. Granted, can't go for a TP gank anymore, but no one says he can't ult down mid.
He did so much bottom side. I wonder if he fully even healed his mana when he teleported. So he's looking for a base immediately. I think this hurts him in lane. And the strategy of having Sion come back to lane to push out the turret is going to be delayed a little bit because his laning phase is, or at least his poor laning phase where he gets pushed in has been elongated.
And now the 2v2, if Weiwei decides to take it, is going to be in so much advantage for Suning. Because Angel still got mana, as it turns out. But
oh, here we go.
Maybe just looking for the 1v1. Good W there, going to spot it, and Crisp is here. But Weiwei doesn't know. There's the knock-up. Question is, will he knock him over the wall? Tien going to survive for now. Oh my god, the blast plant knocking everyone out. And that's going to be Tien going down. Here comes the train from Sion. And Doinby wants to pick up a kill. They need to salvage something from this fight. Weiwei goes back in, gets taken out. And that should be the end of the fight. FPX 1 for 2.
Now they were just behind enemy lines, so Weiwei is like, I'm dead anyways. But you can hold on a little longer. Your friends are fine. But that was pretty sick. I wonder who did it. Who set off that blast plant? Because that made it that much harder to get the kill. But ultimately, I think Gimgoon and the rest of them did a good job of being able to hold the fort.
At least preventing the full team wipe in that upper jungle. Now, Tien coming back on the map, going to pick up the red buff, potentially looking for the Scuttle Crab and some more pressure on top, keeping Gimgoon in his lane and putting Xiaoao down.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Weiwei was sitting in that topside jungle for so long was only really happened because Angel had mid lane pressure. Now he doesn't have mana, so he's looking for, I would assume, a base timing, either that or a plant. But we need to find a way, if you're FPX, to get Angel the hell off your tower. The strategy of Sion was to hold mid lane, but it's getting so hard simply because Doinby going bottom lane to help him. This is tough.
It's such a Doinby way to be behind in lane, though, isn't it? Because he's just like, yeah, I'm supposed to shove lane. I get it. But there's fighting going on. I want to be a part of it. Picking up the blue buff going to help him a lot, keeping that wave off his tower. That should do a lot of good for him going forward in this lane. Angel won't have as much pressure. It'll free up Tien to do things like look for this bottom lane gank.
See if you can do it. I mean, SMLZ and Sword are just the definition of safety. They have not been hit by anything that have been thrown to them by Tien, the rest of FPX.
Flash is back up for both of them, so even if they were dove, they have the safety in the Devour, in the Flash, in the heal. They're just going to stay safe in the bottom lane while they're mid lane collecting kills. Angel currently 2-0. In the top lane, we haven't seen a whole lot of action coming out of this, but Gimgoon struggling to keep up with CS.
A lot of just them getting pushed in. We knew that was going to be the way top lane matchup played out for Urgot in his favor. 10 CS advantage though. That being said, Gimgoon should be able to thin that out a little bit here with this wave. Even pushing him off a bit. Angel putting in just a little bit of hurt, and CS is there for Sion, but just the kill lead that LeBlanc has for himself is going to be really difficult to deal with, as you can see with this one. And he doesn't have the magic resist or sustain with the Chrysalis to deal with, because he's going straight towards Steric's Gauge. So it's interesting to see. I wonder what his next item is, because that's fairly heavy in the AD department without the magic resist that I think he would sorely need. Oh, here he goes.
Looking for roam down bot, but I think they were spotted by that control ward. They're just going to look for the turret plating now. Looks like FPX realizes that they were spotted.
But that's just assured, you know, denial of CS on SMLZ while still taking the gold. LWX has gotten so much off of the help safety of Doinby and Tien. Doinby and Tien coming towards bottom lane, little bit, pretty often. SMLZ, even though he's keeping up in CS, would be doing so much better in this lane. Sword Art, though, come in my belly.
He's going in. Oh, LWX ulting forward.
Talk about a crisscross right there. LWX. Okay.
Still got flash, but he's down.
No.
There's no way he gets away from both Angel
Back
and
up.
Weiwei and Sword Art. There he goes. Ignite going to take him down. Angel with the 3rd kill of the game.
I thought he broke Weiwei's ankles, but apparently that's not the case at all. Angel, that was a dirty trick, leaving the mid lane to come out and take down an AD carry. No one would ever have done that one fast.
But now FPX going to try and respond with the Rift Herald. Spotted out. Angel maybe wants to pressure.
Yeah, there's no way actually he can come out and help because Crisp has gone and done the helicopter way of going straight towards the top lane. So assured Rift Herald for FPX. This is a good take though. I think at this point in time, you were already assured a top lane dive with post 6 Aatrox. I think him looking for a top lane dive into Rift Herald position would be great. Now, a lot of teams just move it and use it for mid lane. It might be a good call here just because Doinby is starting to take control, but I just love the idea of being able to take the kill on top side of the map and then opening up the map for Gimgoon.
Gimgoon on that Aatrox we saw last game able to do a lot for his team, especially when he was able to teleport down. So giving him the freedom to do so again will help them out, but again, it's not their only option. They could try and get LWX a little bit more gold, get him snowballing faster, because like you said, Doinby taking control back at the mid lane. So the only lane we're not so sure about right now is going to be that bottom lane. Now Doinby's starting to be able to clear against Angel without difficulty. So Angel's going to have to find a way to keep the impact going because no longer a damage threat.
That's what I'm a little bit worried about now. Essentially, what are you going to do with Angel as he's coming in purely for sustain now? I mean, for CC, not being able to take down what is a very bulky lineup. This composition needs to be able to hold FPX back. Their team fighting is going to be really rough to deal with front to back.
They don't have a lot of options at the moment as Doinby scales up, and now Tien maybe looking for the gank on mid. Both sitting on control wards. Nope. Angel not going to find anything. Just harassing for the tower. And now Crisp looking for the engage onto SMLZ.
Here we go.
Devour going to come out soon from Sword Art. There it is as predicted, but good stun. Now the re-engage coming in from Suning. Chris getting chased down. No teleport available except maybe Gimgoon, but he's not going to come for it. Chris solo has the ultimate, finally gets taken down, and FPX are thwarted in the bottom lane while Gimgoon is fighting in the top.
There are battles across the map. The only one we haven't seen was Sion versus LeBlanc, Angel and Doinby. But we're just going to take a second look at this one because apparently Xiao Ala and Gimgoon still on it.
Still looking for it. Good flash. He might be able to get the damage. No!
Didn't have his passive. Already wasted a lot of the DPS. There's no way for him. I mean, at that point, Gimgoon could just kite it on back. I'm surprised the fight around in Dragon actually went without a kill. Oh, here we go, though.
Good cocoon there. It's going to come in. Oh, no. SMLZ and Sword Art. Just Sword Art coming in. Tien going to die over the wall. Chris trying to disrupt as much as he can with the Devour, keeping Doinby out of the fight for the time being. And Suning now gotten a flank onto Doinby and Crisp. Crisp valiantly giving his life to try and save his mid laner, but maybe to no avail. The Ignite and the auto to take him down, and now Suning 8-2 in kills.
Disastrous. It's legitimately Suning beating FPX in their own game. We had chaos across the map. Bottom lane fight, mid lane fight, top lane fight, and guess who were the victors? Gimgoon took that one in the card. And then you had in the lower card, Doinby and Angel. It didn't really come out with a resolution, but Doinby's goal was to go bottom lane, and Angel's goal was to disrupt Doinby so he wouldn't join. So the ultimate had no impact. And then quickly, I mean, Weiwei came out and repelled the gank and got the kill on the Crisp. So across the board, Suning won in what was just skirmishes individual 1v1s that FPX had really prided themselves on.
Now SMLZ hitting 2 items. Angel almost fully stacked on the Dark Seal, got the Ludens up, got the Sork Boots up. Once again, going to be threatening Doinby with damage, at least for the time being. This is starting to look bad for FPX. Gimgoon not able to take the 1v1 in the top lane means that, at least for the time being, he's just stuck on tower duty.
Yeah, really, this comp's going to be rough. So this is what I was talking about. Actually, this is much later. This is the fight that we got to see. Tien gets jumped on, and he dies faster than Alistar can come and help him. Because Alistar, you know, just huffing it. It's like, maybe I can help you. Maybe we can make this one long enough so we can turn the fight. But remember, the top lane advantage is in favor of Suning. Xiao comes in. Doinby's like, maybe I can get out of this. Not going to be the case with SMLZ roaming from the bottom side of the map to get the DPS on Doinby. Here's another
fight
skirmish
coming in, and FPX once again down in manpower. Doinby and Gimgoon doing their best. The World Ender comes out, but it's just to get away. Gimgoon not going to be able to escape, potentially. Oh, he's still alive, even in the ultimate.
But Doinby, and now Aatrox has the base. Doinby might not, but he's suddenly in the dive range, buddy. Angel is snowballed this game, 5-0-1.
We're worried about him not having enough damage. And yeah, that was true. Until all of Suning came mid, capitalized on an over-aggression from FPX, and now 5-0-1, like you said, able to roam anywhere, get any kills, and suddenly, if they wanted to, they might even be able to set up a 1-3-1 split push.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Might be the best course of action at this point, because Xiao is just dominating Gimgoon in the side lane. And being able to open up the map, remember Tom Kent's Jin Zhao, you have the skirmish there, you have the instant ability to teleport with your ultimate. Gimgoon is looking for this.
All Gimgoon and Doinby could do in the 1-3-1 is stall their opposing laners. So
Get out of here!
That's a speedy crab just walking out of there with Ghost. And Tien not able to find a successful gank either. So now they're losing a lot of control and need to get back into this. But I'm not sure how. They can't take the 1v1s in the side lanes. But I don't like their chances in a team fight either.
Yeah, because their comp is very linear. Elise has one frame of focus, and that has failed. She's 0-3-1. Late game option is non-existent. Like, what are you gonna do to Angel, buddy? I don't care if you've ghosted up. Yeah, just for the tower. Actually, that's a lot of damage. You gotta calm down.
FPX gets something for their troubles at the very least, and they're looking for a gank here onto Xiao.
Doesn't have Ghost. Can't be scuttling away anymore.
He's out of vision. Good pulverize. Looking for the headbutt maybe, but no. Umbral Chains keeps him in place. 4-man squad finally kills him, but they lose the bot tower in response. And now the mid as well.
Who is this? Oh, Doinby.
Doinby going for the ultimate, not able to get the knockup on the Weiwei, and Angel just assassinates
Woo!
LWX. Absolutely destroyed, and now the Devourer keeping Doinby out of it. They want to re-engage here for FPX, but Doinby is so low, barely alive. Weiwei gets taken out. FPX might be able to turn it. SMLZ is in the fight though, so it doesn't look likely. And FPX might want to kite out. No! Gimgoon wants back in. He's looking for it. He gets the knockup, but everyone runs out of range, and now FPX have to back off.
Oh no, Tien is way too squishy. Angel is just looking for a pick. This is where SMLZ is known to fly.
Tien, be careful. Now, Gimgoon will block enough for him to get out.
But this is really rough. And I think the fight actually worked pretty well for FPX simply because Crisp got a clutch pulverize on what was a dashing LeBlanc. So you got to wonder who is teleporting here. It was the tanky Scion. He comes right back in it. So LWX getting eliminated so quickly. Angel repositioned so they know that they can come in on top of Doinby, and this is where the fight starts. Take a look at Chris. What are you doing? Get away from this fight. You're not damaging Doinby. He gets to stay in the fight a little bit longer because of that, and Gimgoon gets an opportunity to just jump right in. Unfortunately, this is such a great kite back composition. You're not getting on top of Tom Kench, Ezreal, and LeBlanc.
It's so safe in that specific fight.
Oh,
now
no.
Angel looking again for the assassination. Tien incredibly low. Good knockup from Doinby. Now Xiao forced to flash out. Tien barely survives. The engage from Angel, but he gets taken out under tower.
This is beautiful. I mean, they know what to do with the LeBlanc. She is trying her hardest to get the kill on Tien, but they're protecting him like he's the president.
If they can keep playing like that with their carries, they might have a way back into this. Angel's only role this game is to be able to kill 1v1, assassinate one person, take him out of the fight. If they keep playing defensively...
Oh my goodness.
No, don't do it. FPX. This is the third time we've seen this kind of play. Bare minimum, Sword Art spots it out, but FPX are on it. They are going for quite the desperation Baron.
This is going to be the first unsuccessful Dragon for Baron. I can feel it. FPX have to commit to the fight. They get it, though.
They pick up the Baron, and now a good engage from Chris. Knocks up a bunch. Xiao the first one to fall. No longer the threat of fear beyond death. They're going in for the engage, and FPX are charging through. Down on the Sword Art. A great ultimate from SMLZ. Wipes the health bars of FPX. Crisp and LWX still alive. Chris not able to stall. Gimgoon has to get out of here alive. LWX getting chased down by Sword Art and SMLZ. He needs to take the 2v1 or just stall long enough. Woo! He gets SMLZ, but taken down. Doinby the only one alive with the Baron buff. Can Weiwei get it? He does.
The only one with Baron is Doinby. With all of that nonsense, FPX were so close they thought they could pick the fight. Found themselves in a corridor. SMLZ just lines them up. I just want to see that one more time. This is real way back, actually. We're going to see a story. You're going to sit down and watch a tale about LeBlanc getting bopped. So, right in. Pulverize again. Gets taken down. And it takes some time. You can see on your minimap, Dragon and Baron come back up. Baron is the option for FPX. They drag them in. Crisp is just a madman. If this game goes to FPX out of all of things, it's going to be him getting the MVP. But this ultimate just decimated Tien. Angel comes in as well, and he's able to just go wild. So one thing I want to see, Dennis, do we get to see, how much do we get to see? Sword Art going in, all right, how do you outplay it? Please, I want to see that part of the map. I don't care what happens to Gimgoon.
Gimgoon lives.
I wanted to see the play.
No.
All right. Observer, I'm upset.
It's okay.
You had one job.
You know, but we know that LWX got it. He's crazy.
Yeah, just imagine it. The crowd goes wild. SMLB goes down. All right, there we go.
We did it. LWX, 2 items currently, working on a third. Has the Hex Drinker to prevent the assassination from Angel a little bit more. So he should be able to put out damage.
God.
Oh no. Chris, are you going to get the crazy hero engage again? No. The dive in from Angel gets the assassination onto Tien, and now SN have the better flank, but Gimgoon looking in the corridor to take a pick. Sword Art goes down. No Devour left in the fight, and LWX is free hitting in the back line. Xiao goes down. The double kill. He's in there for SMLZ. That's going to be the triple, and FPX win the fight. But it's not over yet, maybe.
Just Doinby and LWX alive, but it's way too hard to get the kill on towards Angel. Whew. I mean, he already used his ultimate, so that's just wishful thinking.
I'd still be scared if I were Angel, honestly.
Nope, that's not how that works.
Nope.
Oh my god, actually. I'm just...
Double chains. LWX going in, once he assassinated in return, Doinby's still alive. Angel looking for it. But not going to be able to find it. LWX far too threatening.
Insane stuff, man. This is some crazy stuff happening here. But that was such a good fight. Just take a look at Chris. When he gets on Alistar, he has some real Mata vibes. Sure, the initial kill onto Tien is upsetting, but as an Elise, he does his time in jail. Angel can't really find himself into the fight, and it is just such a beefy lineup, letting LWX walk forward. He deals so much damage at this point. Angel has to back away. SMLZ had already found his stacks on because of Rage Blade. So right now, all eyes on LWX. If the beefier lineup of Gimgoon, Crisp, and Doinby do their job of going front to back, they can win.
And if Angel keeps going for Tien as well, that's free for FPX. They're fine with Elise dying in a team fight. She doesn't have the damage to assassinate anyone, so if all she does is draw the attention of Angel, that's LWX being alive. That's time they need.
Yeah, this game is simplified. If the game is simplified by just based on team fights alone, then Suning will lose, but this is the call that I'm looking for.
Doinby not able to land the ult onto anyone. Suning might look for the re-engage. LWX
actually had the shield there, so he's okay. But as I already said, game is simplified. I just want to see Angel have shove on side lane like he did there. He's pulling Aatrox's top lane because of it. Suddenly now Suning are finally playing a slower and smarter game. You can see Aatrox realizing that Dragon's going to be up in 15 seconds. It says, okay, I can leave that. The wave that's building up top lane is not important enough.
Now FPX, if they can get more fights, if they can keep it in their favor by keeping the scraps going,
Doinby's too tanky.
LWX will pop off, and here the re-engage comes out. Ultimate from Weiwei.
Chris.
He gets knocked back, but Gimgoon forced out of the ultimate, and LWX still alive. Killer Instinct gonna keep him up, and now he needs to get back into the fight, but he and Gimgoon are really low.
Oh no.
They're chasing down onto FPX. Gimgoon gets taken out. LWX still up, but it doesn't matter. Chris gets taken out by the Fear Beyond Death, and 3 members remaining for FPX versus the 4 of Suning, who are chasing down with all their might.
I don't know how LWX get out of this one. Sword Art can still use his ultimate, but under a tower, that's kind of dicey.
Tien, good cocoon, saves the 80 carry if nothing else, and now Suning get to push in for this tower.
You're going to see the lonely Scion mid lane trying to get a push out here. He knows that this Infernal Dragon is gone, just trying to find a way to give his team any shove, so when they come back onto the map, they have something to work with.
They kept LWX alive again, which is great, but the problem was they lost too many in the process. So right now, I feel like it's a balancing act in this team fight. You need to keep your tanky members alive enough for LWX to be a threat.
But this ultimate, once again, in a corridor, so you can just see SMLZ immediately being able to just get these kills. LWX, as you already mentioned, way too low alongside Gimgoon. Gimgoon was put in a really difficult position once SMLZ got this. His ultimate does way too much damage, and he's finding ways to perfectly pick him up. Now, Shao, this is probably the first ultimate that I've actually seen him actually get all game. So you can see the impact that an Urgot can have here, and this is just how much damage Angel has. I guess that was just the passive of Urgot. Just kidding, Urgot's online.
That's it. Giant enemy crab, he's here. SMLZ gonna pick up the red buff, keep himself topped up on damage, topped up on the sustain. Now, he's got 2 tier items, his second one not fully stacked, with the Iceborne Gauntlet on top of it. He's putting out tons of damage in this fight.
Seems like this game's going to be about Baron before LWX can really finish off his BF sword. It's going to go into GA or Infinity Edge. Right now, like, Suning have so much pressure around here. They may not be able to do it quickly, but with the Tahm Kench, they can just reposition themselves to force the fight. And Crisp has been getting so many flanks off in a lot of these fights. This one, you're not going to be able to get it. There's just way too much pressure around mid and top side for them to find that. Being said, Suning is basing because they don't have the control wars. They should be able to get it now, though.
I feel like LWX items-wise might just want to go for an Infinity Edge, because if it gets to the point where he's getting threatened, their team fight has failed. The front line is no longer there to protect him, and if they get a chance to chase him down, I don't feel like the GA gives him enough time for the team to actually re-rally around him, whereas I-Edge, the extra damage,
Here we go.
might be able to take through Xiao Ao.
Yeah, you're definitely right. The only thing you'd ever have to worry about is how effective Weiwei's ultimate's going to be. Take a look at this. This is such good positioning. Ezreal can get a poke off. They're all focused on the the right side of mid lane, which means that... Oh, wait a second. Unless if this fight goes off.
For the TP. Xiao Ao might be the pick once again. If they can focus onto him before
Wow.
anyone gets in, they get it. And now FPX have the fight. If they're able to get
He's
the
in there.
Killer Instinct. LWX going mad,
What?
and he's flashing back in. I don't know about that one, but I'm wrong. LWX still alive. Finally gets taken out, but Weiwei as well popped into the GA. Angel, the only damage member alive for Suning. The 2 members remaining, Sword Art and Angel, not going to be able to stop this Baron.
They still have Gimgoon and Tien. A lot of damage still available for FPX. But Angel and Sword Art are the only ones who can stop this one.
There's a lot of damage on the Doinby. A few more of those, and he's in trouble.
All right, let's see what Angel can do.
Problem for them is they can't really threaten him with the stun without Tien.
This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
This is a fight.
This is a meat bowl if I've ever seen one. Oh, they're going in.
Oh, they've got him.
Stop it.
Finally found him out of position, and now they secure the Baron. Gimgoon tries to chase down Sword Art.
Really feels like they're just trying to go to sleep and a mosquito is just buzzing around them. You can get used to it. You can try and sleep, but you know there's always a possibility of them either stealing Baron or just annoying you to death. So get the kill on LeBlanc. Take a look at the beginning. Xiao Ao just way out of position, and the teleport makes it so Gimgoon stops anyone else from trying to save him. So especially with this terrain, LWX finds a perfect way to get in there because there's no way Weiwei and Angel could come in and help. That being said, Ignite there for Sword Art does get the kill on LWX, so at least he pays for it with his life. But it's insane when LWX is online, when he has the damage and he can just, you know, roll the dice and know that most of the time it's going to land on crit. He's just going to go for it. Look at the 5,000 damage he's got here.
That's actually just kind of ridiculous. Now Xiaoao solo pushing top will put pressure onto the top lane, but you have 5 people knocking down on your inner tower, sir. You might want to reconsider.
Yeah, might want to base. Might want to lead.
I like that. I like that whole basing thing.
30 seconds till Dragon. That one you don't have to worry about too much, but FPX would be able to get the second Ocean Dragon with a tanky composition. So that's actually really beneficial if they were able to get in and out. And makes it really hard for Ezreal's poke to really matter. So we'll see how much Suning actually favors to defend that. It's just so hard right now with how poorly these team fights have been going.
LWX now 6 items completed.
Let's go.
5 SMLZ. Here comes the train looking for the knockup onto Xiaoao. Team's not there
huge.
quite yet, but LWX is, and that's all that matters. Xiaoao getting saved by the Devourer, but for how much longer? FPX forced away for now. They're not going to be able to get the chase.
It's a big bearing up wave too. Ooh, that's a lot of damage on LWX. Okay.
All right. There's just damage all across the board. LWX looking to take the tower. They're just focusing around the inhib.
It's funny. You see, you know, a lot of tanky members. Suddenly AD carries feel fairly safe to, you know, fire off. AD carry meta, right? But then Elise just sends out a Spiderling and it just blows up SMLZ's HP bar and he gets put in his place. So you always gotta back. Oh no.
This is really good for FPX.
Let's go.
Oh, Chris already with the engage, knocking Xiaoao back. This has been the winning formula, but they need to be careful. If Ezreal's ult comes back up, they're about to die. They're good for now. They pick off Xiaoao. They get the red buff.
Wonder what their priority is going to be. I know they're basing, but bottom lane tower right now sounds pretty good. Wait, is he going to TP onto it? There we go. This looks like a committal for inhibitor tower too. This is a huge wave.
Gimgoon taking so much damage from the Ezreal ultimate, but it's down for at least another few seconds. With the Q's resetting it, it does come up very quickly.
Mr. Sign wants you out of here, by the way.
Taking down the inhib tower, take down the inhib, and they're just going to back out.
Like the tankiness of this Sign is actually absurd at this point in time. Feels like every tank item he gets, SMLZ is reminded he needs one more item. He's like, it's always the chase of, okay, one more item and I'm effective, and then you look at the tab button, you're like, all right, he has oh no, that's more HP. that's
two more items, then we're good. Then we're good.
6 items, I'll meet you there. He still has his Doran Blade, so he wants to be able to remove that out of his bow, you know, get a control ward, but you could already tell he just wants as much damage as possible.
This has really worked out brilliantly, though, for FPX, and I didn't expect it because I've been paying attention.
All right.
Been taking mental notes. And my mental notes for the past 15, 18 minutes are just fight. Because FPX have been able to get the engages. They've been able to force fights. And that goes so well for them. Because Angel's not able to get the assassinations. Instead, just gets popped off.
They had a ward on him. You hate to see it happen. And you're right about that. That just proved your point. Fight. Like, if you have an Alistar, what does he say? Fight. Sion, especially with doing beyond him, fight. Gamegoon, I don't even care what champion he's on. He wants you to fight. FPX's motto has been just to go in and fight. And this composition really does just that. Youmuu's, get away from that tower.
So if he has the flank, they're going to get the inhib tower. But now they're looking for the kill on the Weiwei. LWX getting a little bit too close for comfort, but now his ultimate's down. GA's popped. Sword Art has so many shields, but not enough for LWX to not get through him. He's picked up 2. That's the double kill. Flashes into SMLZ. Gets the triple. Fear Beyond Death gets him. But can FPX keep it going, or will Xiaoao win the fight and save the game? Xiaoao, he gets the double.
He's gonna do it.
He's looking for Gimgoon. Gimgoon to take it down. The triple kill, and Xiaoao saves the fight.
How do you do it? The entire game he gets pushed around, but when it comes down to protecting his Nexus turrets 1v4, he says, back up off me.
Finally, it's time for him to be serious. He's like, okay, I was just kidding. I'm done getting picked off. Here's how I win this fight. I'll just kill everyone. And now 6-5-5. He is so tanky and does enough damage to the squishier remaining members of FPX. It's no brainer.
This is where, did they even have vision of him? They didn't. They didn't have it. They had vision of him because of Wei. It's all his fault.
Oh,
That's
man.
why they saw Angel. But this is what I came to see, man. I paid good money to see this one happen. It looked like it was getting to be game. SMLZ had layered a lot of damage down, but didn't expect this to happen. Instantly, LWX gets on top of him, but Xiao Al sees it. Ultimate. LWX sometimes can cost his team when he thinks the game is over, and Xiao Al saw his opportunity. Remember, level 17 on the Urgot, his passive comes up so frequently. Such a low cooldown. And that's a lot of max HP you're losing. So you got to watch out for the late game Urgot.
And it looks like he's going for even more disruption because if he finishes that BF sword into a GA, suddenly he's up twice.
I don't even know if he could finish an item at this point in the game. Whoever loses this fight, this loses it entirely.
FPX still getting chunked out by the Baron. They're going to have to get out of the pit, but Crisp might get picked off by Angel here. Has to blow the ultimate.
Oh, no, is it enough? No, just so close. So close.
Oh.
Okay,
No.
that would have done.
This game is on a knife's edge.
I can never feel at ease this game. You don't get a lot of near 40-minute games in the FPL. This is the definition of late game at this point in time.
And usually they're not this close.
Yeah.
It's like one team is just failing to close, but no. FPX and Suning are actually just neck to neck, head to head, scrapping it out. And I love it.
Yeah, it feels like there's some form of unreasonable rage. I like it. Gimgoon's looking at the Tom Kench. He's like, that's Savoki. That's the guy who's done it for me for so long. I need success. Wait a second. No way.
Okay, FPX.
Well, you have a Baron suddenly and a Sion running it down the mid lane. Okay, Angel.
Doinby is so aggressive, and he can be because no one threatens him with damage.
Okay.
That was the ult. That was barely anything to Doinby.
Look, Ezreal may have a short cooldown, but with how close they are to the Nexus, that's pretty damn long. You should just be able to go in recognizing that Ezreal's just lost that much. That being said, Inhibitor, they really want this one.
LWX has to position forward because of the short range of Kai'Sa. Doesn't look like it matters. The tanky members of FPX still in formation around him.
Here we go. Let's go to the next one. There are 2 more inhibitors left. Are they just going to play this one slowly? No, they're not.
They're going for Xiao Al. They know who lost in the fight last time. He has the stone plate going, but LWX is still free hitting.
Tien.
Way through the ultimate, still surviving. Tien not able to get the assassination, but LWX, he's got the double. He's got the triple. Is he going to get the quadra? It doesn't matter because the game is going to end. He gets the quadra, and they tie up the series 1-1.
That really felt like the last game of the series, but you have one more left in you. That was so much fun to see. FPX recognizing, you know what? Tanky members across the board and challenge them with fights. You see this man on the screen. Angel could not handle the pressure. 5 kills really early on. He was the most fed LeBlanc. Usually at this point in the game, he can clean it up. But Suning actually, didn't put their foot in their accelerator. Look how large of a gold lead they had, but then completely just didn't look at the side wave. Top lane wave didn't exist to them. LeBlanc always with them to fight. So if you suddenly are trying to challenge a team fight composition where you're like, okay, Aatrox post 6, Sion who's just tanky, Alistar who saved them the game, just to be honest. Crisp, Headbutt Pulverizer, not only did he deny Angel from dealing damage in crucial moments, but he was just a great engage point. So get Crisp off of Alistar apparently is number 1. And number 2, play smart when you have your lead so that top lane wave matters.
I love this game for FunPlus because this was the FunPlus special.
Oh, that was fun, and it was plus.
Yeah, it was double plus. I'm gonna say it, Raz. I know we have to save that one for really good games, but I think it deserves it because we thought Doinby was maybe going a little bit too aggressive. He was going around for those roams, and we were like, I don't know about that. Angel's pretty far ahead of you, man.
Yeah.
You're still under threat in the lane. But he's like, no, I know what I need to do. I'm gonna go for it. I see a kill, I'll be back. Gonna send the ultimate down. I see a teleport, I'm gonna go get it. And through doing that, he set the other lanes up for success while he himself had time to scale up. And once he was into the later stages of the fight, he was just like, all right, I'm all in. I'm tanky.
Yeah.
You can't kill me.
Yeah, they definitely lit a fire underneath a lot of the carries on Suning. Remember early on in the game, it really felt like it was just skirmishes. Anything that was a fight was going in favor of Suning. But then when larger team fights happen, you started to see Xiao Ao make really crucial mistakes in those larger mid lane fights of how he got picked off repeatedly. So I was like, man, okay. It seems like the formulaic team fights that Suning have been so strong and aren't working out well for them. And maybe it's because they don't have Hacker and Maple. Maybe that's a factor. It's, you know, experience, the longer a series goes, starts to set in. But it really felt like it was just the headstrong attitude that Alistar, Sion had that was pulling ahead.
I expect that Alistar to be gone. And
he's not getting it.
He's not getting that. And maybe we won't see the Tom Kench again. But we're going to see it Game 3. And I am so excited. Stick around. We'll be back with Game 3 of Suning versus FunPlus, the last game before Chinese New Year, in just a few minutes.